I spent 37 hours over 2 weeks studying the Fields of Mistria breeding system and went through 278 animals to add every single one of the 120 animal color varieties to my farm. I started with the vision of just completing all the colors for the cows, and then the darn perfectionist dork in me couldn't omit obtaining all the other animal colors. So I bought hundreds of animals from Hayden, farmed to support my addiction, jotted down a lot of chicken scratch about my breeding experiments, and I'm going to share my results with you. So here is my Fields of Mistria animal breeding color guide, beginning with the breeding basics, how the tier system works, and then I'll show you all the colors within each animal species. There will be a quiz at the end to see who paid attention. I told you I was a dork. When you're ready to breed your animals, the first thing you're going to want to do is come over here to Hayden's farm and head on over to his shop and buy some animal treats. We're going to go into farm supplies here and let's buy some horse treats. I don't have a lot of money because I've been spending it on animals, but I have enough for a couple horse treats. Just to show you how it's done here, we're going to buy those. Now, before you pick who you are going to breed, you need to make sure you at least have 2 hearts. And in our horses here, looks like we have 2 hearts on all of these. Let's choose Vanilla Ice and Megan the Stallion here. Now, this can be a little bit difficult if you have them out here. So one thing that I like to do is we're going to go over to the horse barn. I just happen to know this is the horse barn. We're going to send them inside and you don't even have to wait for them. Look, we're going to go in and they will be in here. Magic. Let's collect all these goodies. Let's go over to our horse treats here. Here they are. And this is Megan right here. We're going to give Megan the horse treat. Yes. Works like magic. We've given our female the treat. Now we need to find our male. Here he is. I think it's him. I forgot I had 2 white ones in here. Yes, this is Vanilla Ice. So if we give the other gender of the same species a treat, watch what happens. And now these 2 have bred together. One thing you're going to need to make sure of, and it won't let you do it if you don't have room, but you need to have at least 1 empty stall in the coop or the barn, and I do highly recommend these medium barns. The medium will hold 8 for the coops, 8 for these big barns here, and the other ones only hold 6. So definitely save up for the medium if you can. And this is the medium-sized coop, which will hold 8 of your small animals, your ducks, your rabbits, your chickens, and your capybaras. If you look in the shop, the first 4 are your small coops and barns, and then the second 4 are your medium coops and barns. We now have bred our 2 animals, Megan here and Vanilla Ice. It will not indicate that they are bred on the first day. You're going to have to wait until you go to sleep. It's now the next day, and let's go ahead and check on the horses here. And there you see, there is a stork icon next to the 2 animals that I bred, Megan and Vanilla Ice here. But we're going to have to wait 3 more days until the baby is born because the gestation period is 4 days. So we just have to take care of the parents. We're going to take care of all of them here because it's raining and they can't go outside. We're going to give them all a treat. It's now the evening of day 3. So if we go to bed, we should get a birth announcement in the morning. Let's see. All right, here we go. It should be up next. I can't wait to see what we get. Yes! We have a little girl, and it is the spring seasonal horse. Let's rename her. We're going to call her Little Kim. I don't know why I'm going with a rapper theme. We're just going to go with it. If the baby is a new color, you can now go to Hayden's shop, go under adoption, and we'll go into horses here. And if the spring color was new, you can now buy that color. So any color that you have bred, you can buy more of, which is really cool. Now, if you don't want the baby, there is the daycare option, which in order to make this video possible, I went through this a ton. You could just simply put whatever animal you don't want from the left onto the right. So if we were to go into our horse barn, here is Lil Kim, and we could put her in daycare. But I don't want to do that yet because I want to go show you our little baby. And there she is. We're going to pet her. Let's listen to her sounds. There's little Kim. Aw, let's give her some milk. Now, it will take 3 to 5 days for her to become an adult. And once she is an adult, we could breed her if we wanted to. However, we currently don't have any room. So if I wanted to breed another horse, we're going to have to either sell an animal, put one in daycare, or buy another barn, which I have done plenty of, and that's why I'm broke. Let's talk a bit about genetics, because they don't matter. The color of the parents does not matter. It doesn't matter about dominant and recessive genes. No. What matters in Fields of Mistria are the tiers. So let's talk about the tier system. And not like sad tears. Tiers. And here are all of the tiers currently in Fields of Mistria as of early access. There are 6 total. Tier 1, you have 3, and they are very natural organic coat colors. You can get all of these directly from Hayden. They're unlocked from the start. You don't have to wait for them. And then you have tier 2. They have a little more variation in color and the coat markings, a little more vibrant in some of these. Tier 3 is the same for all of the animal species. You have pink, purple, and blue. Tier 4, that's going to be your silvers. There's only one color in that tier. The same with tier 5. These are your golds, only one color. And then the final tier is tier 6. These are your special seasonal animals. And what you get is going to depend on what season you breed them in. You have winter, spring, summer, and fall. But how do you get these higher tiers? Well, I have an infographic for that too. Here are some of my animal breeding examples and notes that I have compiled through all of my animal experimentation in Fields of Mistria. That sounds terrible, animal experimentation. Anyhow, direct your attention to the bottom right down here. After all of the test breeding I have completed, the general rule of thumb that I have come up with is the offspring will be at least 1 tier higher than one of the parents. Let's take a look at the examples. We have a tier 3 broken pink cow bred with a tier 5 gold, and I got a tier 5 gold. That does follow the rule. This is at least 1 tier higher than one of the parents. This one right here. It's actually 2 tiers higher. Bonus. And then I did some breeding with a lot of gaps in between the tiers. We have a tier 1 chicken with a tier 6 seasonal chicken, and the result was a tier 2, but this still is at least 1 tier higher than one of the parents. Same thing down here, we got a tier 3 bunny. It's at least 1 tier higher than this parent right here. Now when I experimented with a tier 3 bunny and a tier 5 gold, I did this a couple times, I got a tier 4 silver and a tier 5 gold. So both of these are at least 1 tier higher than one of the parents. It usually goes higher than the lower tier parent. Up here with the sheep, I had a tier 2 with a tier 4 silver, bred them multiple times, and I got multiple versions of 3s and 4s. These are at least 1 tier higher than this parent right here. And then we have a broken purple tier 3 cow with a silver tier 4, and the result was a tier 5 gold, which is still at least 1 tier higher than both parents, actually, in this case. And this just goes to show you don't need to breed a tier 4 with a tier 4 to get this golden tier 5. Now, you're going to have a higher probability if you breed the 4 and the 4 to get the 5, but it's possible without 2 4s to get the 5. Now the 6s are a little bit different. Here are my tier 6 notes. These are your seasonal animals, remember. I only got tier 6 from these 3 combinations right here. Tier 5 and tier 5, I got some tier 6s. It's a lower probability, but still the offspring is 1 tier higher, at least 1 tier higher than it would be in both parents in this case. A little bit higher probability with a tier 5 and a tier 6. And then tier 6 times tier 6 will guarantee you another tier 6. So tier 6 times tier 6 will always get you the tier 6. And it doesn't matter if you're mixing the winter here with the spring. The offspring will depend on what season that you were breeding in. So remember this rule when you're trying to get certain tiers in Fields of Mistria. Generally speaking, the offspring will be at least one tier higher than one parent. We have 15 different colors for each of 8 animals. That is 120 different animal colors total. Now I'm going to stock my barns with all of these colors so you can see them live. As I was stocking my barns, I realized one tip that you might want to know. If you ever forget what tier level an animal is, all you have to do is go in your little barn list here that lists all the animals you have in your barns. And on the right, it tells you the tier of the animal. That's a tier 2, this is a tier 2, and this is a tier 1. And now let's go see the animals. These are the tier 1 and 2 chickens. The ones are the brown, the white, and it's a little bit different from the rooster to the hen, and then the spotted. And she happens to have a little hat on. And tier 2s have a little bit more color. There's the yellow, the gray, and then my favorite, the red. I put the tier 3, 4, and 5 together because the tier 3, you have 3, the pink, the blue, and the purple. And then tier 4 is just this silver here. Tier 5 is going to be the gold. And then the seasonal chickens. Winter, spring, fall or autumn, and then the ones with the sunglasses are the summer. Hopping along to the bunnies, this is tier 1 and 2. 1 are the solid colors right here, in addition to the Dutch, the black and white. And then tier 2 are these other 3 that are a little bit more colorful. This is Cora. She looks like my bunny in real life, except for the white feet. Kind of a cream color, and then a little sable point right here. And tier 3, 4, and 5. Tier 3 is the pink, purple, and blue. Here's the tier 4 silver bunny, and then the tier 5 gold. Looks pretty yellow, doesn't it? And the seasonal bunnies. Winter, spring, autumn with the little skeletons, and then the super cool dude, summer ones. Very saturated orange, very vibrant. I like it. Oh my goodness, I just realized the spring ones have little white cottontails on the backs. I love the details on them. Third, we have the ducks. The tier 1 are these 3 brown and tan colors right here, and white one right here. And then the tier 2, honestly, I think the ducks have the best tier 2 colors. Plum purple, the teal, I love this one. I gave her a little hat. And then this multicolor yellow, kind of a mustard color. The tier 3, the pink, purple, and blue. The tier 4, silver. And then here's the tier 5 gold duck. And the seasonal ducks. The winter ones are going to be like the bunnies. We have the little Santa hats here. The spring with the flowers. This guy's still a baby. Doesn't have the flowers yet. The summer with the sunglasses. And then the fall, the autumn ones with the skeletons. Fourth, we have the capybaras. Tier 1. The browns are a little bit difficult to differentiate. These 2 here, and then you have the pale color here with a little hat. Tier 2 is the white, the dark gray, kind of a charcoal color, and then this is Max. I don't know why I named him Max. He just looked like a Max. That's your red capybara, tier 2. Tier 3, 4, and 5 capybara, blue, purple, and pink. Here's the silver. And then the gold. He really blends in with the straw. Now you see him, now you don't. And the seasonal capybaras. The winter with the little snow hats. The spring with the flowers. The summer with these adorable little rainbow umbrellas on their heads. How creative. And then the fall, kind of the spooky navy blue there. I really wish they would have the skeleton skin on them like the sheep and the alpaca do, but they're cute nonetheless. Moving along to the sheep, here are the tier 1s and 2s. the solid ones are going to be your tier ones, like this black one right here, and the white one down below it, and then the brown one over here. And then your tier twos have different facial markings than their body. So you have like white body and the black face, and then you have the white face with the black wool here. And the exception is going to be kind of the creamy colored one here. And remember, if you're not sure what tier it is, I'm just going to double check that I have them correctly here. If we go into the sheep barn, yes, this cream one here is a tier 2, even though it does not have a different color face from the body. This is tier 2. That's the male version. And then I also brought out my female version if you wanted to see the difference. Horns, no horns. The same with the tier 1 here. This is the male with the horns. I guess you would call that the ram. And then we have ewe, the little female, the little ewe here. Sheep tier 3, 4, and 5. Pink, blue, and purple. Tier 4, the little girl with the bow in her hair. That's the silver right here. And then tier 5, this is not the summer sheep. I just gave him a little mushroom hat. Don't ask me why there's a mushroom hat, but it looks cute. So we're going to go with it. And the seasonal sheep. The autumn ones, I think these are my favorites. I love how you can see the bones in them, especially when they turn around to the back there. The green are the spring. The winter ones have little hats. Super adorable. That's the male, and then this is the female. And then the summer ones, I think that's supposed to be a palm tree on their head. I mean, that would make sense for being summer, right? And those appear to be both males right here. I don't know if I have a female for the summer one, but there you have the seasonal sheep. Then we have the alpacas, tier 1 and tier 2. Just like the sheep, the tier 1 are pretty plain. The black, the brown here, and then the white one. I have 2 of these. Bit of a different color face on these guys. And then the tier 2, a little more color variation with the buff color, the charcoal, and then the cream with the black face, ears, and tail. Alpaca 3, 4, and 5 tiers. Purple, pink, and blue. This guy is the silver. And there's the gold. And the seasonal alpaca. Winter, spring, summer with the sunglasses, and then the bones for spooky season. These are the tier 1 and 2 cows. Spotted is a tier 1. The solid lighter brown. And then this cute little guy that's kind of a charcoal gray with a white toupee on top. And tier 2 is the cream guy with sunglasses, lady. Mr. Bojangles here. I don't know why I named him that. I did not mean to shank you, buddy. I can't hug him. Why? That's your tier 2. And then the final tier 2 that we have is going to be the two-tone brown. There we go. Nice little hug for you. Tier 3, 4, and 5 cows. And I love how the tier 3 cows, the blue, the purple, and the pink, are broken pattern. It's the only one that is broken out of all the animals. That's what they call that in the breeding world when it's white mixed with the color and it's kind of spotted. They call that a broken pattern. And I have 3 adults, actually 4 adults here. Got one with a crown here. This is the female. Here is the male broken blue. And then I brought a little girl, broken pink out here. And then my silver. Wait a minute. Is that a silver? That is a silver, right? Again, we're going to double check. Yes, that is a tier 4 silver. I wasn't sure because I think the adult version does not have the little white toupee, but this is your baby version of the silver. And then the gold girl over here with a crown. That's your tier 5. And here we have the seasonal cows. I don't know, this guy right here might be my favorite. The reindeer antlers, the nice bright icy blue, little white hair. I don't know what you call it. It looks like a little toupee. What do you call it? It's not a mane. Whatever you call it, it's really cute. We have the spring variety here. This is the male. The female's up here. And then for the summer, we have the little sun hat here. Super cute. And then similar to the horses here, we have a really dark navy blue or black cow. Not a unicorn like the horses, but they're interesting. So the seasonal cows. And finally, we have our last animal, the horses. Tier 1. These are some pretty cool looking tier 1s. We have the spotted pattern, and they don't come with a unicorn horn. I added that. And then this is the solid tier 1 here. For the tier 2s, we have mama and baby, the brown color. Two-tone charcoal with a cream mane, really pretty color. And then the cream color with a charcoal mane. Horse 3, 4, and 5. We have an adult and a juvenile in the blue. Here's the pink. Again, I did not mean to shake them. Let's turn off of that. The lavender purple. Tier 4, the silver. Again, I added the unicorn horn to it. That's like the perfect unicorn color, is it not? I love it. And then for the gold tier 5, we have an adult and then the juvenile down here. And the seasonal horses, we kind of showed a bit earlier. The winter ones are all white, which is very different. And we have the little reindeer antlers there too. Spring are the green. And remember our little baby right here, little Kim, does not have the flower veil yet. And then the summer ones, I think those are seashells in their manes. And then the autumn ones here, they're all black, or maybe it's a navy blue, I can't really tell, but they're unicorns. They have little horns on their heads. I love it. As promised, we are going to end with a little quiz. So get your brains ready. We're going to see who really paid attention to this video. Good luck. Question number 1. Let's say you finally got a gold animal. We'll use the cow for example. You finally bred a gold cow. You're trying for the tier 6. How can you get the tier 6? What would you do? You can pause the video if you want to think of the answer. Here are a couple ways you can go about it. Number 1, you can breed the same combination that you did to get the gold cow. So if you bred a silver with a tier 3, or maybe you bred 2 tier 4 silvers to get this gold, you can do that again and just wait for an opposite gender. In this case, we have the female. We could just keep breeding until we get that male gold cow. Or you can go back to Hayden's farm here, go under adoption, and if you look, the gold cow would be available. Now these would not be available. These seasonal ones, you wouldn't see those yet, but you would see the gold as soon as you breed the gold. You could just buy another one. You could pick the gender. It would probably save you a lot of time. All you'd have to do is wait for this cow to grow up and be breedable, but it will cost you 3,600 smackaroos instead of what it would cost you for the treats here. These are 135 for the, oh, that's a chicken treat. That's not going to work for the cows. It varies by animal, but there you go. The cow treat is 270. You would at least need 2, but again, it could take you a lot of tries before you get the gender that you want. Question number 2. Imagine it's the last day of winter and you are breeding 2 tier 6 winter cows. That's this one right here. That's a tier 6 winter. Last day of winter, you're breeding 2 tier 6 winter cows. What will the offspring be? And here's the answer. Remember I told you that it doesn't matter when the baby is born, it is the breeding date. So you're definitely going to get a tier 6 because you bred tier 6 to tier 6, but it is going to be a winter, even though it's born in spring, which is what we're in right now, it will be a winter tier 6 like this because you bred it in winter. Even though it's going to take 4 days and it'll be born in spring, it's going to be a winter. Question 3. Let's say that you're trying to complete all of the capybara colors. You want to unlock them all, but you're missing this purple one right here. This is a tier 3. What 2 parents would you breed together to try and get this tier 3 purple capybara the fastest? Here is my answer. I would pick 2 of these tier 2s right here. Color doesn't matter. Red and the charcoal, the white and the red, it doesn't matter. You would most likely get tier 3 the fastest by breeding these, various combinations. Now you could also try, let's say, a tier 3 pink or a tier 3 blue with either of the tier 2s or the tier 1s. And sometimes you might get one with a tier 4 and a tier 2, or a tier 4 and a tier 1, or a 5 and a 1. There are other combinations, but the surefire way to get a 3 is to breed 2 2s together. And it might take you a while to get the purple. For some reason, some of the colors, it takes a while. Question 4. You're trying to get the silver sheep. You have not yet bred this color right here, so you can't buy it. What's the fastest way to get it? Here's the answer. Because there is only one tier 4 of any of these animals, the fastest way to get that is going to be 2 tier 3s, and you should have that in one breeding, because you breed 2 tier 3s together, the offspring is going to be at least 1 tier higher than the parents, and it's not super likely that you'll get a 5 out of that. You most likely on your first try will get that silver if you breed 2 3s together. Now there are other combinations, but that is going to be the fastest. Question number 5. If you're breeding a tier 3 animal, such as this pink horse right here, with a tier 1 animal, such as this horse right here, what are the most likely offspring tiers with a 3 and a 1 as parents? Here's the answer. If you remember my rule, generally speaking, the offspring will be at least 1 tier higher than one of the parents. So if this is a level 1, this is a tier 1, the offspring most likely is going to be a 2, maybe a 3 if you're lucky. You could possibly get a 4 because that would be 1 tier higher than this 3 right here, but most likely it's going to be 1 or 2 tiers higher than this one here. So tier 2, tier 3 are going to be the most common, possibly tier 4. And for the final question, take a look at the animals I'm putting on the screen. Which one cannot be housed with the others? We didn't really go through this, but I know y'all are smart, can probably figure it out. The answer is the cow. Remember, there are coops, that's a coop right here, and then there are barns. The smaller animals live in the coops, the ducks, the chickens, the rabbits, and the capybaras, and then the bigger animals like the alpaca here, the sheep, the cow, and the horse, they will live in the barns. You can mix and match the bigger animals together. The little animals can live together, but you can't mix the big with the little. The little guys eat the grass seed, the big guys eat the hay. They live in separate barns, but they play together. I know that was a cheesy quiz, but thank you to those of you who stuck it out and are still with me. And that is the end of my Fields of Mistria animal color breeding guide. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like the color chart. Hopefully it will help you. If I forgot something, please let me know in the comments. And if you didn't like it, please don't tell me, because this was a labor of love. And if I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't. I'm glad I did it. I love all the colors of animals, but it was a ton of work. And honestly, after this video is done, I'm probably going to put some of these guys in daycare, because I literally can spend half of my day petting them all and feeding them. And if it's a rainy day and I can't let them outside, yeah, forget about doing anything else. But they're just adorable, and I can only imagine if they add other colors and patterns in future updates. I don't know if they are, but I love my animals. But yeah, it's simpler with just a few. Remember to spay and neuter your pets, and this won't happen. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing if you like Fields of Mistria and other cute and cozy games. And I thank you for watching.